Hi everyone, it's Matthew. Welcome back to my channel. Dancing with the Stars time. Oh boy, we have a lot to talk about. Bella, please introduce yourself again.
For those who don't know, thank you so much for having me. I'm Bella, and I'm excited to rant about Disney Night. Disney Night is always a staple of the Dancing with the Stars, so I mean, it's like very important to like people who grew up with Disney and like I did as a kid. So knowing like how that was going to change everyone.
Exactly. But before that, we dressed up a little bit, or at least I. I decided to bust out my Mr. Incredible costume, and Bella does have a little Disney connection. Um,
So it's the homecoming shirt that Tom Holland wore in the first in his first solo film
it's funny we both unintentionally picked superhero themes.
ever.
Like we both didn't even plan that either. All right. Normally we would just hop right into the dances, but we have a lot to talk about first. Where do you want to begin?
Ooh, the whole debacle about Steve and Rye going first.
Yeah, let's talk about that first. Now, this is the second time that the couple who went home, who started out the show, ended up in the bottom. It's also the second time the judge pulls BS comments. I do agree he was off timing a little bit, but they made it sound way worse than it actually was. And then they put him in the bottom three. They made Riley cry. She did actually cry.
Which I think is just bullcrap, saying that they did the same thing to Chandler and Brandon last
The
time. So
worst
I
part
mean,
is, yeah, like, the worst part is they think they're doing the couples a favor by doing this.
right, but they're not.
Hmm. To be fair, Chandler did better, which we'll talk about, but I just don't get it. I don't think I ever will. It's weird. I agree with his score, but not how he got to that score. And to give Dwight the exact same score when his dance was worse is saying, hey, we think you two are on the exact same level.
Exactly. But knowing Dwight's on a different level than Steven, he's on a whole different level than him.
I don't care. They clearly don't care. Can we talk about the scores first and then we'll hop into the dances?
Hmm.
I did the math. Out of the 10 dances we had, that includes the team dances, 5 of them got 24 out of 30. 5 dances got the exact same score.
What the heck?
I don't even think people realize that. But yeah, I did the math. It was 5 out of 10. The exact same score.
Holy cow.
It's ridiculous. It really shows that they don't care. They're like, yeah, whatever.
It doesn't even seem after Len passed, like the judges don't even critique what they need to work on.
They just don't
Well, they
care.
do. Well, they do, but not necessarily.
It seems like they're just making up stuff now. They're trying to be as harsh as Len, but the thing is, with Len's harshness, he was legit caring about the couple's growth and was like, hey, this is what you need to do to get a higher score from me. Then they're like, okay, let's make up something. Maybe they'll buy that.
Or maybe, for instance, I'd say that people were saying that Len was harsh on like different couples like throughout his seasons of judging.
Which I agree with, but again, it shows. But he's at least tries to give good comments. He at least tries to say, "Hey, I'm struggling with your dancing because of this, this, and this."
Right.
They're not even trying anymore. They get and they're just being keeping the tens away for no reason. Like they gave Chandler no negative comments, but yet still only pulled three nines. Like it just doesn't make sense anymore. All right. Do you think that's enough ranting? Because we'll have plenty of time for more.
For now, yes.
We'll talk about more ranting when we get to the bottom three. Because that's going to be a fun one. Let's start the show. Steve and Riley up first with a Charleston to A Star is Born from Hercules. What did you think?
Ooh, I think it wasn't his best dance. I think it wasn't his best dance to date.
Yeah, I would agree. Um, I think the beginning was so slow that when the tempo changed, that's when he was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I agree the timing was off, but they didn't even mention why the timing was off.
Right.
Again, the beginning was just so slow, and then it all of a sudden wrapped up. It was like, what are we doing here?
Right.
All right, so he was the first 24 tonight. Lucky him. Uh,
But I still managed to vote for him.
yeah, same. Next up was Jen and Sasha with a rumba to kiss the girl from the Little Mermaid.
Ooh, I think that it was probably not like her. I think it's probably going to be like I know the rumba is like slow, sensual, and has a lot of sexiness, but having them as the second of the night,
Yeah,
they could have put her like
towards the
not like
middle.
at the like in the middle, not like in the middle of the pack, but like even down the line.
They could have put her where Dwight was. They could have swapped the order of those two. My biggest problem was the fog. I couldn't see her feet for most of the routine, which I guess
Right.
is exactly like the movie, so I guess it works. But it was just hard for me to see how well she did because I couldn't see her feet. 24 because that was the most popular score. I saw something on Twitter real quick. That did Gene Simmons steal all the 10 paddles when he left? Um, and after tonight, I after last night, I legit wondered if that was true. He's like, no one's getting tens anymore. I'm out of here. That's
Or
something.
maybe they replaced them.
Yeah. Well, we did see a 10 during Iona and Allen because Carrie Ann was fumbling trying to get her nine pal. First, she pulled out 8, and then she pulled out 10, and then she pulled out the 9. So we know they have them. It's just, I just don't get it. All right, Joey and Jenna with a samba to Trash in the Camp from Tarzan.
Ooh, maybe I'd say it's the samba is one of the harder dances to do in the history of Dancing with the Stars. So I think that given like the other seasons they've done that song,
Yeah, they did it with Nile for
Niall and
sure.
Peta,
Yeah. Um, I do agree with Bruno. There wasn't much samba bounce, but with that type of song, you were never going to get the proper samba bounce. It's just not possible.
They're
I'm
not
pretty sure he said the same
they're
thing
not
about
killing
Nile.
it with the song choices this year.
Ain't that true? Um, I'm pretty sure he said the same thing about Nile. I know one of the judges said there was no samba bounce. So I think whoever does that song is just gonna have that problem no matter what.
Right.
25. Oh look, they found a 9. Whoopee! Up next, Chandler and Brandon to We Own the Night from Zombies 2.
Oh my goodness.
We knew this was gonna be great because this is her song from her movie, and sure
Right.
enough, didn't disappoint.
Meg and Milo being in the dance room again.
Here's one thing I want to say real quick though. Meg, you have to do the show now.
Yes. Oh my God.
You will have been, including myself, have been trying to predict her to be on the show for years. Meg, you have to do it now after this.
I mean, to revenge Milo from not winning when Bobby Bones won.
I just got reminded of that. Thanks. That would be my nightmare for next week's theme. That would be my nightmare. Um, but yeah, this should have been all tens, especially based on how the judges commented on it. But
Right.
uh, all nines will be. Hey, Phaedra and Val with a jazz to Quilla DeVille. This was her worst dance to me.
I agree. I think that this was going to be a good jazz, but I mean, as someone, like I've said, as someone who's trained in contemporary in jazz and ballet, like it's very like jazz is nuanced, and like I think they weren't trying. She's kind of like the Harry Jowsey of this season.
Honestly, yeah. Now that I think about it, you're definitely right. It's just I don't know what happened this week. Like all the other weeks, she was fiery and determined and like, yes, I want to win this. I didn't see any of that this week. We'll talk about her when we get to the bottom three, but it just wasn't the same Phaedra we have all seen and loved.
Right.
24 because that's the lowest they're going to go tonight. Good to know. Glad we got that established. Um, Danny and Whitney went a jazz to Bye 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 from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh yes,
I think this was his best dance.
I think so because Joey Fatone was there to kind of like
Exactly.
guide him through, and he was a contestant himself and made it to the finals.
Yep. He was a two-time contestant. He was on the first All Star season.
Yeah,
It was just great. We knew it was going to be great, and sure enough, it delivered. Um, it was an odd choice for a Disney night. I know why they chose it, but it was still a very odd choice.
I think they did like the wrong choices at the wrong time. That's what I'm
Like
thinking.
this season is not thought out at all. It's just like, we'll do this here, and then we'll do that there, and then whatever. Whoever organized this season needs to be fired. I'm sorry.
For real. Whoever
26.
need
Yeah, 27. You go.
I think whoever besides the casting associate is Katz. And I mean, like, who has the audacity to freaking have somebody score higher than somebody else?
I don't know what to say. It just makes no sense anymore. Oh my god, this show. Speaking of this show, let's talk about Dwight and Daniela.
Oh my god.
Oh, or sure
Even
then.
his Rumba was, I mean, like his Rumba from dedication night was horrid.
Oh, we should have said what song first. That's my bad. When can I see you again from Wreck and Ralph?
For Wreck-It Ralph. I'll go first, and I
Yeah,
think that it was his worst dance.
yeah, I agree, hands down. Um, this dance obviously showed the height difference, which I knew was going to happen with a tango. But I feel like he's gone backwards. Like I thought his week one salsa was good, but it just seems like after his foxtrot, it's just like
It's just like it's kind of like a snowball where it's like a snowball of never ending stuff where his progress is going.
yeah, I would have to agree. But it's Disney night, so he's not scoring higher, lower than a 24. Ugh.
I miss when they used to have like color coded paddles for each of their themes.
Yeah, me too. Um, they are the reason why he's still in the competition. They overscored him.
Oh my god, that's what you said this morning. I'm like trying to make sure that he looks not like good, but I think he could have gotten a six. He could have like gotten sixes.
Yeah, it's okay. It's Disney night. We get it. But it's
It's
okay.
okay. We get it.
I just don't understand their thinking with that. But let's move on to the scariest dance of the night Iona and Alan's jazz to Sarah's pressure from Encanto.
She was born to play Louisa. Like
But
her
we need
strong force,
but we need to talk
having
about that Alan costume. We have to talk about that Alan costume first, and then we'll get to the dancing.
I still oh my that pic you sent in the showdown chat last night, I was dead on laughing.
That was so creepy. I can't. Oh my god. He goes for it. You have to admit, he goes for it every theme hardcore.
Right.
Um, in terms of the dance, I thought it was good. I do agree with. I think it was Bruno who wanted like a little more dancing in it. Like it was great, of course, but it could have used a little bit more.
Right.
I know this isn't going to be the dance they go back to, but this is the dance I would want them to go back and redo.
You know what I miss? I miss when they used to do encores of their performance. Like one performance that they've done throughout the season that they thought that they needed to do again.
I know. I don't understand why they don't do that anymore, but I don't know. All right, let's talk about the team dances. Let's start with Team Roar. For record, this is Dwight and Daniela. He was the team captain. He picked Danny and Whitney, Stephen and Riley, and Phaedra and Val. This was to I just can't wait to be king, the Lion King.
Well, I think their team dance wasn't the best team dance in the history of the show.
Yeah. My biggest thing is I feel like I knew they were all that like teamwork and all that. It just I didn't see that in the actual dance.
If we
Like
could
they
have
just
gotten at least 1-7.
yeah, you could have thrown a 7 there. You could probably made that all sevens. But they're not gonna score higher than a 24, lower than a 24. Not today. No, no, no.
Not today.
Oh my god. All right, let's talk about team goofs. For the record, the team captain was Iona and Alan. They picked Chandler and Brandon, Joey and Jenna, and Jen and Sasha, and they had Eye to Eye from the Goofy movie.
Oh my gosh, Goofy movie was a childhood.
I love that movie. I really do. As for the dancing, I loved it too. First off, Iona has hit knows to how to lead a team.
Right,
She was the captain of the rugby team that got us the gold. She knows how to lead, and you saw that in the dancing. It's something we don't usually get on the show.
right.
Um, my favorite parts were actually when all four celebrities danced together, like that middle section, in which it was just the four celebrities out there. I also liked her lifting Chandler and then Jenna. I just thought it was a great dance.
That's what I thought too.
All sevens. I think that's. I mean, all nines they got. I think that's fair.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
Congratulations, the only fair score of the night.
Exactly.
Yeah, I said something right tonight.
You got it, dude.
All right, bottom three were Steven and Riley because they had to pull the Chandler. Oh, they had to pull the. Oh, you're gonna grow and you're gonna be so much better for this. Yeah, with Riley crying. Way to go, guys! So proud of you. Jen and Sasha, which I saw coming because I keep telling everyone she's gonna suffer voting wise, but she's splitting the same base with Joey.
Right.
I keep saying that, and people are like, "No, she's gonna make it to the semifinals. She's gonna make a finale." I'm telling you,
She's
she,
not.
she's definitely in trouble, especially since her scores aren't growing either. And then the person who went home, Phaedra and Val.
Which I knew was coming, but I wanted her to stay another week.
Yeah, this should have been easily Dwight,
It should have been Dwight and Danny immediately.
but I think her fans want to see her do a Halloween routine. That's why.
But she broke
That's
the
why they kept them.
housewife's curse of being on the show longer.
Yeah, I think she was the first housewife to make it to team dances. So good for her. All right, next week is Halloween Nightmares and Dance Offs. Chandler and Brandon, because she had the highest score and combined judges average from the season, she's gonna be safe from elimination, which she needed. And yeah, so she's gonna be safe, and then we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Um, I have some predictions for the who I think will be paired together. Based on scoring, I think this is how it's going to go. I think it's going to be Dwight and Steven, which means Steven's going to wipe the floor with Dwight. That's what that means. And then I think it's going to be Joey and Iona, and then I think it's going to be Jen and Danny,
That's what I'm thinking.
or Jen and Iona, and Joey and Danny, one or the other.
Or vice versa, but
We'll see. We'll see. Because God knows the show will throw more twists and turns at us.
yeah, for real.
God, this show made me miss the the bottom two judges save.
Oh, it shouldn't immediately.
Like because what the judges save, they had no choice but to actually say who was in the bottom two.
Right. And with the judge's verdict actually knowing like how that
Yeah,
was going to change everything.
exactly. But, but I guess not. All right, so comment down below. What do you think of this Disney night? For me, it was a complete failure.
It was, besides being a complete night, it was a nightmare for me.
Yeah, same. All right. What was your favorite dance of the night? That's what I'm curious about.
Oh, Chandler and Brandon.
That's probably my top two. My top is probably the Team Goops freestyle. All right, and I'll see you guys next time.